Hello and welcome to Good News York, sponsored by Ads on the Go, getadsonthego.com. I'm your host, Mike Brindisi. Follow me on socials at MikeBTV, and you can find all our episodes Monday through Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern at Good News York on all socials, and of course, goodnewsyork.com. Every now and then we do a special episode, and the reason why I say this is special is because these are friends of ours, clients of ours here at Clickstream Studios. They have their own podcast in which we produce called Crazy Real with Bugge and Zogg, and I am joined by Jenn and Marissa, Bugge and Zogg.
Hi.
I know,
Hey.
it's always a wimpy clap, but I got to do it. Welcome, good morning.
Thank you.
Right? Is it still morning? Yeah, we're still here. Where to start? So, Jenn and Marissa, first of all, who's Bugge? Let's get that out of the way. Let's show the viewers who's Bugge, who's Zogg.
Okay. I'm Bugge. That was my maiden
Bugge.
name. B-U-G-G-E.
I always say Bugge.
It's
I like
Bugge, and that
Bugge.
word has blown up, so I don't.
Bugge and then your Zogg.
Yeah.
Right, because it's a play on your name, your last name, which I won't mention. But how did the nickname Bugge come about for you?
That was my last name.
Oh,
That is-
really?
That's my last name.
So
When I got married.
your maiden name?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like a nickname.
No.
Well, that's just a cool name. Like, my last name is Brindisi, and it's just it's clunky. It's long. I have to spell it a million times on the phone. Bugge's like,
Bugge. So growing up, I just was Bugge.
yeah. Why wouldn't you be?
Yeah. I was never Jenn.
That's
so,
such a great name.
Yeah.
So you guys are unique in that you came to us as one of our first clients that didn't necessarily own a business. You came to us as two people looking to get a podcast that just showcases who you are and talking about crazy and real things that other moms and women can relate to. And it's a super fun podcast. Tell us a little bit about your backgrounds first, and then how did this idea for the podcast come along?
Okay. So I grew up in Syracuse. I graduated CNS in 98.
Mhm.
I went to Oswego State, got my degree in broadcast journalism, wanted to be a news reporter. And then as I was interning my last year, and I was just like, this is not my thing. I cannot do this. It was a sad story. And my uncle had his own real estate company. He said, just come work for me. So I've been with him for 23 years.
Wow.
And I just started walking one day, like starting to walk and get healthy. And I started listening to Nikki Marie Unplugged and Two Bears, One Cave, total opposites. And I was like, you know what? Why? And being a mom at 45, I wanted something a little more. You know, you do the same thing every day.
Sure.
You're for your kids, your husband, work. And I was like, so I came to Marissa. I was like, let's just start it and see where it goes from there. Because to me, it's kind of like not work. Like I just left work now. I'm on my lunch hour. Like this is like relaxing. Like I'm having a good time. And then I got to go back to numbers
Sure.
when I go back, you know? So let's just.
So it's almost as much your own therapy and passion that it is just a podcast that you want to do because it's something you're good at. It's almost like a therapy for you in a way.
Yeah. It's just fun and not really work.
And then Marissa, what tell us a little bit about your background and how this came along?
It's a little bit different than hers. I'm from McGraw, New York. Grew up on
Yeah.
a dairy farm.
Yeah.
After graduating, I went to SUNY Cortland.
Mhm.
Elementary education, was a 3rd, 4th grade teacher. Then got married, and when I got pregnant, I decided to stay home. So I've been home for stay-at-home mom for the last, 11 years.
Wow.
So was ready for a change. She came to me maybe August and said, I have an idea. Let's go to dinner.
Uh-oh.
And I had no idea what her idea was. She's like, let's do a podcast. And she had it all mapped out, like episode, like what to talk about.
Nice.
And I said, okay, let's try it. And so when we first tried it, it was like
We tried to do it on our own.
on our own. Yeah.
Okay.
Like in a bedroom.
Like in a bedroom. Like we set up a thing.
I mean, look, that's
Yeah.
not really crazy. I mean, you can do a podcast anywhere these days, but I bet you found it's a little more challenging right now.
Oh, it was awful.
It was awful. It was terrible.
And we looked at each other and we're like, what the fuck are we doing? This is ridiculous. The lighting, the sound. And then we're looking up apps and we're like, we
Just
can't do
not
this.
technically. We can never do it.
And then how did we get on your radar at
We-
Clickstream Studios?
We Googled it.
Really?
And
Jenna Murphy. I realized
Yep.
that this was the place that Jenna Murphy was going.
And-
So that's how we ended up here.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny because I too went I went back to school for TVR, television, radio. They call it television and digital media now. And so there's a strong journalistic component to that field. And so I kind of understand what you mean, Jen, about, once you kind of peel the curtain back on journalism, especially in today's world, it's not as fun and enjoyable as you thought. And you learn, like, unless you kind of work your way up to these bigger networks, there's not a lot of money in it, and you got to love it. So I think I commend you, because a lot of people are too afraid to say, "Ooh, this is what I wanted to do. I guess I got to go do it now." You decided, you know what, this isn't for me. And what's kind of cool is that this podcast is along those same lines. I mean, obviously you're not reporting anything, but you're in front of the camera. Do you feel that being on a podcast kind of scratches that same itch for you? Like, it kind of fulfills that?
Kind of, but I don't want to where I got to research and get my facts, and I just want it to
You wanna be you.
fun. I just want to be us. Like, talk about housewives, talk about kids, you know what I mean? So kind of, but not really like working like
Sure.
a reporter and the hours and the money. Like, it's
Yeah.
just not.
That was my thought on that was along your lines too, is I was like, I could never do this, because I just can't take myself serious being like, and now we're going to go into this story here about a dog. You know what I mean? Or the Buffalo Bills lose again. And I can't, with the yuck on the voice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't. I respect those people, but it's just not me. I want to.
It's not
Did
really.
they teach you to do that?
No. And
No.
well, they do. Yeah, there's a whole class that you have to take where you will learn how to do stand-ups, and
Yeah.
you will learn how to sit at a desk with an earpiece in, and you have to do a mock news thing. And that's actually when I did learn that, like, oh, this isn't for me, because it was too rigid and stiff for me. And by the way, people don't understand how hard it is to be a journalist and to be a news anchor. It is a talent.
Yeah.
I'm talking about just the cadence. We were the minutia of it. Our professor would be like, "You're talking about something sad. You can't have an uptick in your voice. Like, you have." It is very impressive, but it just wasn't for me. Like you said, it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
And in fact, the professor would say, "Stop. That's a little too much yuck on the voice, which is this thing here." Like, yeah, I mean, it's not. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little too much.
Yeah.
But anyway, with that being said, so you decide, I want to do a podcast. You tell Marissa, and I assume you had to have this conversation with your husbands. What were their reactions? Were they? I mean, obviously they were supportive, but were they like, "What?" Or how was
Actually,
that?
mine was, I was shocked. He was like, "No, I think it's great. Go for it, do it." And he's been very supportive. And actually, funny, he works at the Firehouse, and all the guys will like play it for him. And he's
Oh.
like, "Will you stop doing that?" Like, they're not really teasing him, because the first episode we talked about him a lot.
Yeah, of
you know,
course.
and his quirks or whatever. But yeah, like, he was driving
Oh.
the truck, and he's like, "They won't stop playing this goddamn podcast if you're talking
Oh.
about me."
That's
But he loves that.
that's an element of this I never thought of. You work in a firehouse. There's a lot of ball busting going on. They're love
Oh.
it. The more you talk about your husbands, they're gonna just crank it out. They're gonna crank it out.
I want to do an episode. I want to have two wives on, and we could talk about what it's like being married to a fireman, like, and
that's
all
wonderful.
this whole.
See, here's the advantage of having a husband that's not really good with technology. He doesn't know that it's been released.
That's good.
So he's constantly like, when's it going to be out again? And here's a good topic for the next podcast. And he'll just shoot some ideas out. But he
Meanwhile,
doesn't.
he has no idea what's really.
He was
Really good.
supportive though, right? He
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He's been
That's
good.
great.
And
That's great.
the kids. My son will come down with his iPad, and all of a sudden he'll just have the intro playing on blast, and he's walking by dancing. I'm like, "Will you stop?"
So earlier you talked about kind of your origin story with your podcast, Crazy Real with Bugge and Zogg, which airs. We produce it here at Clickstream Studios. You can listen or watch anywhere you consume podcasts. You were inspired by Two Bears, One Cave, right? Is that the right one?
Yes.
Yeah. With Bert and Tom Segura.
Yeah.
But you said you were also really inspired by Nikki Marie Unplugged?
Yes.
And you followed her.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what is it about her and that show that kind of inspired you to want to do this?
So she is just a mom like me. She's just in her own home, comfortable like me. I live in my sweatpants. I live in my yoga pants. You're never going to see me dressed up. She's the same way. She talks about exactly what I want to talk about: kids, raising 2 kids, and funny things. Disney. Her obsession with Disney is like me, and that kind of. And then Disney like picked her up, and she now goes as an influencer. They send her and her kids, and I was just, that's like why I wanted to do this. I want to get big where I can go to Disney. That's
Yeah.
really my goal.
That's your
So
goal.
my kids and I can go to Disney.
Let's just be honest. This whole thing is so
Literally.
Bougie can go to Disney. That's it.
I'm not lying. It's stupid to
No,
some
it's not
people,
stupid.
but it's like
It's not stupid.
I just
You know what it is? And correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like you listen to Two Bears, One Cave, and it's funny, and you think, oh man, that would be so fun to do a really professional podcast. And I bet you, correct me if I'm wrong, that the Nikki Marie Unplugged kind of showed you like, oh, wait a minute. It doesn't have to be like it can be professional, but like I can be in my sweatpants and I can talk about Disney. Did that kind of give you the idea of like, oh wait, I can do this and still be me and laid back?
Yeah, and she's more relatable, like on my level, like kind of like Two Bears, One Cave. I just love because they do talk about the stupidest things and they're funny. But a lot of those guys, like Theo Von, they're comedians.
Yeah.
I'm not funny. So
Well,
it's like
you're
I feel
funny.
like a lot of those guys are funny, and that's what
Yeah.
they work off of, their comedic thing. And then she's kind of more like just you and I.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
she can do it, I mean, it takes a lot of work. The behind the scenes, I can't believe all the stuff behind the scenes.
You can still be funny and not be a comedian. There's a way. And
yeah, you're right.
And you guys are funny because you're in your element. That's the key with podcasting is as long as you're doing something that's in your element where you can be you. And that's what you guys are doing. And so before we talk about the podcast, I do want to, speaking of Nikki Marie Unplugged, very exciting for us here at Clickstream Studios, but more exciting for you guys. And we're so happy for you. She ended up sharing one of your clips from an episode of Crazy Real
yesterday.
Talk about it.
Because we on the Disney episode, we talked about her
Mhm.
because Sarah, who we had on, went on an influencer cruise that Disney sent them
I produced that episode. I
Yep.
remember.
And Nikki was on it. She goes, oh yeah, Nikki was on it too. So we just started talking about her and we just tagged her in it. And she reposted on Instagram. She reposted the video on Facebook. Her mom requested to follow us. I requested to follow her mom. Her mom was the first one to like our video today that went out. So it's like a lot of people might not. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
No,
it is a big deal. And it is a big deal because in your world, that's someone that's a main influence of yours. It's someone that you follow. And, I tell clients all the time that, and I tell our social media team that edits these clips, like, make sure you tag some of the companies or people you're talking about because you never know when they're going to reshare it. And that's how collaborations start. More than any other industry, podcasting specifically now, it's just a ton of cross marketing and networking where everybody wins. Back in the television days, it was very much more competitive because you're competing with networks and ratings.
Yeah.
And now we're in a world where, yes, there is a ton of oversaturation, but it allows for cross marketing and networking where everybody can have their own thing and their own pockets of fame and
I'm going to say one more thing. Nikki, we'll be on a girls' trip in Boston the beginning of March. So if you're around, I'm just kidding.
Now,
the chances of that happening.
Where does she live?
Massachusetts.
All right.
Yeah.
See,
Yep.
anything's possible.
Yeah, anything's possible.
But let's talk about your podcast, Crazy Real with Bugge and Zogg.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm one of the producers along with Danny Tripodi. We're so happy to have you as clients. What I love about your podcast is everything you've already explained, which is it's professional. It's interesting. You had a psychic on. That's going to be on the next episode. I loved that. But it's also very relatable because, again, you guys are relating to other women your age and moms and wives. But tell us at the meat of it, what is kind of your goal and what's the overall theme of Crazy Real?
What do you think our goal is?
Well, we know the goal is you need to get to Disney. That's number one.
That's the ultimate goal.
That's
Jenn and
let's get that out of the way.
For free.
That's number one. For free. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, just to get big, you hate to say this, but in reality, people, it's to make money too.
Sure.
And I just can't believe we're meeting with marketing people. There's just so much work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a full-time job. It's
It
like
is
a whole other
full-time
job. So to make money,
But I think that the goal is to just have to have everyday conversations.
yes. And if people come up to us like, hey, that episode really, hit me in a certain way, or, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, just to reach out to people too. To have
What are some of the the topics or guests that you're going to talk about and have on the show that people can expect? Like, what kind of things do you talk about?
So actually, our next episode is Regan's Acts of Kindness. If everybody who lives in the area knows what happened in 2017. So like people will remember that story, you know, just to get it out, to have people, you know,
It was a heavy episode.
remember,
Yeah.
to
Yeah, heavy
remember her. I kind of don't know. I just want to have a little bit of everything.
Mhm.
I don't know what's going to interest people. I don't know what people are going to hate. I don't know, you know?
Yeah, no, and that's kind of the theme of all of this for everybody is, you know, I tell people all the time, get rid of preconceived notions, just find something that you love and that fulfills you in the podcast realm. Be yourself, and the success will come because the people that are interested in you are going to find you, and they're going to latch on, you know, and that's the beauty of this because before when it just relied on networks, right? I keep going back to this on television, you know, shows were forced on people and you're like, I don't like this. Now it's like you can find your own shows like, oh, Crazy Real with Bugge and Zogg, that's totally something I'm into. And you have your own little pocket of a fan base, and that's awesome.
Like next week, we're going to come in. We're literally going to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City just because we're obsessed with the
Perfect.
show. And she's like, we got to have your cousin Mark. So my cousin Mark's going to come with us and talk about it because he's obsessed with it too.
That's great.
Yes.
That's
And
so
he's
great.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in a perfect world, if you could, you know, when you guys picture who your listeners, followers, fan base would be, who do you, I know you want to cater to everybody that'll listen, but like when you picture that, what's your target audience? What do you think?
What do you think?
It's probably more so women,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would have to say.
Yeah.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Probably moms,
Mhm.
new
Yeah.
and our age.
and people that go to Disney.
People that go to Disney.
People that go to Disney. People that go to Disney.
Yeah, there you go.
Coming up, what can we look forward to? I know you did. I did kind of tease that there's going to be an episode that the heavy episode. Also, you have I think a psychic that came on.
Yep.
Give us a little tease of some guests or shows coming up.
So we're going to talk about the Salt Lake City
Mhm.
Housewife reality TV. We also want to do an episode just her and I about kids, like
Yes.
between the first and the second, the difference, running around with sports, you know, that type of stuff. A psychic we just did. I have another story that I'm not going to talk about right now yet, but it's a good feel story too, of something
Cool.
in the area that happened. I have a couple other guests that I have inquiries in, but they're not definite yet, so I don't really want to say. But
Yeah.
I mean, I like the guest thing, I really do. But
I
I
love
think
the guests.
yeah,
Yeah.
we do love the guests, but we do have to do some with just us too, you know, just to see.
Oh, absolutely.
You know.
I recommend, you know, like with Good News York, we have guests, and there's times where it's just Matt and I, and we're kind of riffing, and there's a beauty in both of those.
Yeah. So we're still trying to figure it out. I
Yeah.
really don't know.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And it's a continuous process of figuring things out and changing things up.
Yeah.
And do you have a vision in the short or long term of where you would like this podcast to go? You have any like big goals or milestones you want to hit? Or are you just kind of on the ride?
Just kind of on the
On
ride.
the ride, yeah.
That's the right mentality.
Yeah,
I think.
I really don't have a main goal.
Yeah.
Just to get to Disney, I guess.
Just
For free.
For free.
Yeah.
For free. Is there anything else you guys want to chat about that I have not hit? Because I know you brought some notes with you, so I want to make sure we hit everything.
Yeah.
No, I think we really.
What is one thing that each of you would like people to know about yourselves?
What you see is what you get.
Yeah.
I can attest to that.
I will tell you to your face. I'm not going to lie. I am so loyal. I will be so nice to you. But if you do something to me or my family, it's that Italian.
Are you Italian?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Me
Home.
too.
And my husband calls me Italian north side. From the north side. It's just a joke. But
That's how I've always been. I've always been the, like, you know, if I love you, you'll never feel more love. And if I don't like you, I'm not going to like you. Watch out.
Oh, yeah.
Watch out.
And it's weird too how, like, you know, in high school you're like, you have your people who like, people who hate. Then as you become parents,
Mm.
it's the same thing. It's
Mhm.
like freaking high school again at these kids' schools. You're just like,
Mhm.
oh my God.
Oh, it's brutal.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Rice? What?
I dislike social media.
Yeah. Isn't it funny
Well,
how you
probably
can
shouldn't say
exist?
that.
No, listen.
I do. Like,
This is my career,
I feel
and
like
there's so many aspects of social media I absolutely hate.
that's where I'm at. Like, I feel like the older I get, like, the more difficult it becomes. Like, I am now at the point where I'm asking my 11-year-old for help.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, but don't. There's no shame in that. You know,
There
one
is,
of
though.
the things. One of
There's
the
a lot
things
of shame.
I've said to people over the years is that my dad actually told me this once. He said there was this episode of The Twilight Zone where this guy wished he could hear everybody's thoughts, and he was granted that wish. And by the end of the episode, he goes clinically insane.
Yes, I know
He's
that
in a
episode,
straitjacket.
yeah.
Right. And my father was like, "That's what social media is. You're
Yeah.
hearing everybody's thoughts."
Yes.
And there's a lot of people out there whose thoughts we probably don't want to hear.
A lot of
But
people.
but there's so much beauty and awesomeness and so much money to be made in social media. So, you know, for me to say I hate social media wouldn't make sense. I work in that field, but there is no shame in saying, hey, even though I do this, there are aspects of social media I cannot stand, and I get it.
And a big thing I hate too is people hide behind their little computer
Oh, of
and they think they're
course.
so tough and
No
like,
profile pic, and they're
nothing.
just commenting.
and they're so that's going to be once that starts going and you start getting the negatives, I'm like, could be a good thing. Are we making it in the world?
Yeah.
Or, you know, you just can't let it
Some
bother you.
advice
But
I took that I'll give to you is because obviously once Good News York started, there's always trolls on there making fun of your appearance or
yeah.
and I would get bent out of shape sometimes, you know, because like any human, I have insecurities.
Yeah.
And then someone said to me, never take criticism from somebody you wouldn't go to for advice.
Right.
And I loved that. And I live
That's
by
good,
that.
yeah.
And that's something I love to share with our clients is, you know, there's going to be negativity, but it's less about you and more about the people on the other side who are hiding behind their little thing. And they probably, as soon as you see they don't have a profile picture or their profile picture is their dog, you know, like they're either ugly on the outside or on the inside or
Right.
both.
Right.
Either way, Crazy Real with Bugge and Zogg, produced here at Clickstream Studios. You can find it anywhere and everywhere podcasts are consumed, downloaded, watched. Give us the plugs. Where else can we get a hold of you guys? Where can we find episodes, social media handles, all that?
Yeah. Instagram at Crazy Real Bugge Zogg. Same thing for Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. TikTok's another one. And Instagram, we have our link tree. You can click on that and it has everything in there. And
Awesome.
yeah. that's
Any
pretty much
final
it.
thoughts?
No.
Thank
Just
you.
tune
Thank
in,
you.
click and subscribe.
That's right. Well, there it is. It is Crazy Real with Bugge and Zogg. Marissa and Jenn, two of our clients that we love so much. We're so happy to have them here at Clickstream Studios. Tune into Crazy Real with Bugge and Zogg. Just as they said, you can find them on all those socials. And that is it for Good News York, sponsored by Ads on the Go. GetAdsOnTheGo.com. You can follow me on all socials at Mike BTV, and you can find us as well as GNY Sports at Good News York or GoodNewsYork.com. Good News York airs Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern. And we will see you